Happy Monday, guys. As I said, I am not entirely positive if Jackie will be on. She was up super duper late. And I know that because she was posting and she's still in Japan. I think it's like 11 o'clock a.m. their time right now. So anyways, you get me tonight, but that's okay because I am absolutely thrilled this evening because it's been 10 years in this industry. I said yes to this industry 10 years ago today, probably about this exact time of the evening. And I was sitting here today, well, not really sitting, moving around and driving and taking kids everywhere they need to go. And I was thinking about my journey, about why I got started. And, I was at a place, a lot of you guys do not know my full story. So I'm going to give it to you briefly tonight. All right. Because I hope it inspires you. And also, 6 years ago tonight, I was 81% to hitting 200K. That was all my memories from today. And I had just come off working like 3 nights in a row. And I had a couple nights off and I had to go back. And I ended up hitting 200K on the 24th of March of 2017. So please know I was 80%. That was the 20th. By the 24th, I was at 100%. So that's why I say 11 days left in this month is huge if you stay focused on helping the next person. So back to my story, because like I said, a lot of you guys do not know it. So when I got started in this industry, I just came out of a time period where my now ex-husband and I were really, really struggling. That December, I had decided that I was going to try to make our marriage work. We had some stuff go on, infidelity on his end, and I absolutely, I never really talked about this before. It was part of my story, and I kept quiet about it because I was working so much that year prior in 2012. I was working 2 jobs basically full time, and I had the highest year ever working as a nurse, because I was working at one hospital and then I was working at another hospital. And at the time that I joined, I had a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old. And so I was missing out so much with my kids, and I absolutely was just exhausted. And I thought, there's no way that I could do something, that I have to go do parties or anything like that. My mom saw how wore down I was. So she messaged me and she said, "Hey, your cousin's doing this business," and it was a different company. But it was a similar setup, that people go to your website, they place the order, you can deliver it. I could sell these samples and make money doing it. And they had like a party planning company or whatever. I really didn't see how I could fit parties in, and I wasn't a big fan of them anyways. But it was better than working all the time. And like I could do it with my kids sitting there. So I just needed to learn how. I had 200 friends on Facebook. I did not have an Instagram. Well, I had an Instagram account, but it had like nothing but a couple pictures of my kids on it. And I had like no followers or anything like that. And obviously there were no other social medias. And back then Instagram did not have messaging. So you had to put like your phone number in there or use like another app. And so I only had like 200 friends on Facebook. It was mainly people I went to high school with and people I worked with or went to school with. And surprisingly, some of those people did end up messaging me when I started posting about my first business. And I literally was like the spam queen because I didn't know any better at all. I didn't know any better. And in that first company, I had people join me, people quit, people join me, people quit, people join me, people quit. I mean, like, what am I doing wrong here? Like, I'm getting people to sign up, but nobody's doing anything. Well, it hit me a couple months in that to some extent that was going to be normal, but it was also, I was setting people up for failure. And the reason why I was setting people up for failure is because when they were coming in, I was explaining like what my goals were, but I wasn't asking them what their goals were. And so people would come in and they really didn't know what to post. They were afraid to post. Everybody was like, oh, pyramid scheme, that's like the big thing back then, is that everybody, if you posted anything that you were selling, nobody wanted it. But what worked was when I started posting results, when I started sharing that I was earning like, a fast start bonus, or I was earning a paycheck and like going to the grocery store, filling up at the pump. When people saw me start not working as much, like whenever I made my very first goal in this whole industry was just so I could quit my second job. Like I didn't care about working full time. Like I'll take it. I just wanted to quit my second job just so that I could like spend more time with my kids and have 4 days a week with them instead of 3. And like I work night shifts, so it's like you lose a day anyways. Um, and I really didn't know if I'd ever be able to do that. But I'll tell you guys, by the summertime, I had done that. And actually in the first month, my first check was not that high. But my first month in the business, I had sold like 700 in samples. So even though I didn't really have, I think my first check might have been 120 something, which is high for the average. For a lot of people's first checks in that first company, it was like $19, $21, something like that. And you guys might relate because we're paid weekly here. I was paid monthly there. So anyways, I set that first goal and I decided that if I was going to make this work, I needed to learn how to reach new people. I needed to get focused in on how I could get my products and what I had to offer in front of the right eyes. So that's actually when I went over to Instagram. And that was probably about May or June. I knew nothing about it, but I got on YouTube and I literally just searched like how to grow my audience. And I did all the same things that you guys hear over and over and over again, right? It's like people need to know what it is that you're sharing, and people need to know that you have a solution. So if you go to like Google and you type in weight loss products or whatever, right? You're going to come up with a thing. Like you're going to come up with a bunch of stuff. Same thing with Instagram. If you think of it like a search engine, that's what you're going to find. Pinterest, if you think of it like a search engine, if you guys are skipping out on your Pinterest pins, trust me, go do it. Because why? Because Pinterest, people are looking for stuff. If you type in your product and then keywords that have to do with weight loss or energy or sleep or all the different things, you're going to find that. And I signed a promoter way back then on Pinterest. Who knew? Right? Like, I mean, I know a lot of people do not even think of it and they take it off the table, but the reality of it is that I didn't know what I was doing, but I just started hashtagging and putting stuff out there, like relevant stuff. And I started signing customers, and then I started signing promoters. And I remember it was like August 1st and I signed my 3 promoters all from Instagram. And I was like, oh my goodness, like what have I hit here? Like the jackpot of all things. And it was just because I was consistent and I was sticking to it. And I was like growing so quick. And I went to my first event, and that's when I realized in my mind, I just thought I could just quit my first job, like my second job. Like I was just trying to make up that extra money. And well, my vision grew at that point. And when I went to my first event, and I heard ladies, you guys have heard me say this before, but when I went to my first event, I heard these ladies talking about going to conference. I heard them talking about going and coming, and over the years, like being able to go from being on food stamps, working at like Walmart or somewhere, and literally making 5 figures a month. Well, I didn't even make a third of that as a nurse back then. Like nurses did not get paid what you guys think. Like if I told you what I had made that year when I was working 2 jobs full time, like it was like 75,000. And like that's amazing money, okay? But I want you guys to think about how much nurses make now compared to back then, right? Because that's a long time ago. 10 years is actually a very long time. And I think the starting wage for nurses is $10 more now an hour than what it was when I first started. Anyways, I literally believed at that point that I could do it. And I was like, well, all I need to do is figure out a way, because I didn't know how I was going to get to conference. I didn't make enough money monthly. I mean, my gosh, I had never even been on an airplane. I had never flown. I had never gone anywhere by myself my entire life. So I was scared to do something like that, but I knew I needed to push myself in order to grow. And so I made the decision to buy a conference ticket and then just share a room with a bunch of ladies. And I got paid while I was down there, and that was the money that I actually had to spend. And I sold product so that I could get my, like, the money for my airline ticket, the money for my hotel. And then I used the pay that I got from that company while I was there as spending money, because I didn't have it. And it came right after Christmas time. And that year, we had our sites go down that October. And then we had this like Christmas cash thing right at Christmas. And I lost it because one of my customers returned their product. And it was totally defeating. And I started to question, like, was this for me? Was this industry going to work? Because I get so close to, like, say, our 12K rank. There it was called a diamond, and I'd fall backwards. But then I go in January to that conference, and they had hung a $10,000 bonus on it. And I said, that's it. I'm talking to everybody, because what do I have to lose? I got in on my phone and I literally messaged every single person I had ever messaged. And all I did was type in words, like keywords, like I sold wraps and, weight loss and just different stuff. And I messaged every single person. I got in my email list and I messaged every single person. And I was just like, okay, on Facebook, messaging every single person that had ever messaged me. And then I just started getting really consistent with my posting. And you guys, I spoke it every single day that I was going to hit that goal. Why am I telling you this? Because a lot of you guys have not even claimed what goal you are going to hit. And you are sure as heck haven't told anybody else about it because you're too afraid that you're going to miss it. You are too afraid you're going to miss it. And that is what is holding you back. I'm telling you right now, it is what is holding you back. You've got to actually own it. And you've got to say, what are you going to do with it? What does like a $4,000 bonus mean for your family? What would you be able to pay off? What would you be able to do with that extra 500 or so a month, like literally over the next 8 months? What could you do with that money? Because that's what you got to, that's what's going to keep you motivated, right? And then a lot of you guys too are not thinking about, you're like, well, nobody wants to join me. But what are you doing for anybody? What are you doing for anybody else? Of course, they don't want to just jump on and join you. Why would they join you? What's in it for them? You got to let them know. You got to let them know. Attach that, like the VIP 400, the VIP 800, VIP 1600, the 4K bonus, the auto bonus. Attach it with what somebody would want it for. Would it be covering daycare? Would it be covering gas? Would it be covering groceries? Would it be covering paying off a credit card, a student loan? Helping pay your bills in general, because things are sucky right now, right? They're really sucky. So you want to attach it to that. And that's what you got to let people know, is like, you're going to be there for them step by step. And you are not the one setting their goals. What would you like to accomplish? Right? So like, just even imagine that. Like, if I could help you make enough money to pay off any bill, this is just a random question that you could ask your whole entire Facebook land, or go on a live on TikTok or on Instagram. If you could help pay one bill every month for you, that would truly help you and your family, what would it be? Like, that's the kind of stuff that you got to let people know that you can help them with. What about people that want to use this product, but they don't have the money to do so? You guys, we get our products for free. If you share them, if you don't share what they do for you, you're not going to get them for free, because nobody's going to order from you. Why would they order from you? They don't want to do you a favor. They want results, right? And I can guarantee you there are so many people out there right now that have gym memberships they're not using. They've got subscriptions they're not using. So don't tell me people are not buying health and wellness products, because if you go to Google right now, you'll find out just how many people are buying health and wellness products every single day still. Okay? It's absolutely being sold. If I know Canada doesn't have like a lot of the payment plans or whatever. I know US does, but it doesn't even matter. Even if you take those off the table, if somebody truly does want to try something, get them focused on a sample and then have them share how they felt. And that's how they're going to get their referrals. Every single one of our customers, every single one of our promoters has from now until the end of the month, right? To get those 2 customers in. We have the 25th auto ship, and then we have the rest of the month. In order to get your product for free and your customers to get their product for free, 2 customers. You guys, I just saw an announcement the other day of a woman. She was being introduced as a new promoter. She had 67 referrals. What? Holy moly, right? That's crazy town. Absolutely crazy town. But anyways, okay, so my whole story though, I forgot. And I don't know how I forgot to tell you guys this. Right before I joined, and I joined with my income tax check, okay? I joined with my income tax check. My car was repossessed in that December before I joined. And also I was getting foreclosure notices. My daughter was in 4th grade at the time, and she could not get her hot lunch because her lunch bill was past due. That Christmas, she had literally, she had been able to go to, I don't know, it was like something for science honorary. And I remember, or no, it wasn't that year. That was a different year. That was the year my dad passed away. Never mind. I get that all messed up. But my journey's been bumpy. And I'm going to tell you it's been bumpy because that first year I didn't like massively take off running, but it was like a year plus in. That's when I took off because I got to my first event. And I did. I hit a rank where I hit like 3 bonuses in a row, and I ended up with like $50,000 in bonuses. And I decided at that point I was going to leave my full-time job and just take casual. Well, I stayed with that company for 3.5 years. The following year, my dad got really, or the following year, I hit like the next rank in the company and earned another bonus. And then the following year after that, my dad had gotten really sick. And I had turned my focus from business to helping with my dad, plus running my business. And just to be honest with you, people succeeded and people hit ranks and people hit bonuses. But momentum started to die down. And it was an election year. And by the fall time, it had all but crumbled. I had lost rank a couple days after my dad passed away. And it was the first time I had ever lost rank. I went back to working full time at the hospital. I still ran a retreat for my team like I had promised them. And I was scrounging change. I was trying to come up with the money for my dad's funeral expenses. And I was devastated, you guys, devastated. It might make me cry. Because I poured everything into that. And I felt like my world was crashing, and I was super embarrassed to go back to work. But when I went back, it was humbling, and it reminded me of why I needed to get the hell out of there, because I missed my kids, and I was like working and I'd get paid and like the money would be gone as soon as I got paid because bills were just overloaded, and I owed a lot back. And I mismanaged my money back then. And so I literally was like, something has got to give. And I had companies that were like trying to pay me to come to them. And I kept telling them no. And then in January, Jamie had reached out to me And she had just been like, I had just talked to her the week before, and she was like, I'm so done with this industry. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to be like, I just don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't feel love. I don't feel passion. And so I went ahead and I said, go ahead and send me a sample after I got on a 3-way call. And then we ran and we ran like our pants were on fire and our life depended on it because our lives did depend on it. Our families needed it. And that's what was right in front of us right now. And I hope that you guys do see what kind of opportunity you have because, man, oh, I'm looking at so many people's little things back there. And I'm like, wow, I just know like what it will do for families. I know how that bonus, I earned it back in 2017. It changed so much for the trajectory of the last 6 years. And I can tell you it can be in good ways and in bad ways, right? But I am definitely glad that we had the double volume and we had the different promos and so forth, right? But you guys need to know and have confidence that even when we don't have promos, packs sell. Even whenever we don't have anything else, there is something for every single person at so many different ranges. And you can work with anybody within their budget. If somebody can't get started on the whole 3 steps, that's okay. Start them on the capsules. Get them started on just one of those steps and then work on getting them the referrals. Because I promise you, when you work with people's budgets and you keep that in mind and you stay focused on helping on the why and how is it helping them and what can you do to help solve somebody else's problem, you will never fail. You never will fail if you're always focused on helping that next person. And for me, that's exactly what Lavelle is why I came here. You guys, I saw that there wasn't a website fee. I saw that anybody could sign up for free as a customer or as a promoter, and they got a link and they could share that link. And that is literally, I hope some bells are going off for you guys right now when it comes to affiliate marketing and what Lavelle has provided for us for being able to create free accounts. I really, really hope you guys understand the magnitude of how big this is. And when they launch the e-commerce and people can go right to those exact links, you're going to you're going to hope that you've been sharing what things can do for people and how this industry can help them. It doesn't matter what platform you're doing it on. You don't have to do it on Facebook. You don't have to do it on TikTok. You don't have to do it on Instagram. You don't even have to do it online. You can do it face to face if you want. I do a mix of everything. And I suck at doing it all in one place. And I need to really focus one place because I'm like squirrel brained. And I do better when I really zone in and focus in one area because I give my all to it better. Right. And I think that's probably why I did so well on Instagram so many years ago, because that's where my focus was. So no matter where you are right now, if you guys go into your cloud office and you pull up your free customer accounts, you can reach out to every single one of them through email or send them a text. I can tell you, if you look at my messages, you will see where I went through and you can literally see, hey, Christina, hey, Courtney, hey, Heather, hey, Talia, like literally the names of customers, right? That I reached out to and said, hey, you have a free account. You've never placed an order. Here's what we have going on, right? And I did get a couple orders this past week just because I sent out messages. That's it. So the thing is that when you get started, make sure you share it. It doesn't have to be literally a billboard. It doesn't, but you want to find a way that connects you to your audience. And if your audience is not biting, then you need to focus on how you can grow your audience. And sometimes, I'm going to be real honest with you guys. Sometimes the reason why you're not growing your audience is because you're not growing yourself. That's some hard truth. And that's some truth I've had to swallow about a bazillion times, to be honest with you. Because sometimes when you get to teaching and you start doing and you're like, I don't know, if you're a parent, you're running ragged, you're doing everything else, and you feel like you're falling short on some ends of the stick, right? So, like, I have been diving deep into learning different stuff these past couple weeks, because I realized, like, I felt stagnant. I felt really, really stagnant. And sometimes when you're in the growing process, Amanda needed to grow. I needed to grow in multiple ways. And sometimes you don't reap the rewards right away. And it sucks because you can feel like, well, maybe I'm going backwards, or maybe people think, quit worrying about what anybody thinks. You are the only one that's going to know the work that you put in. Because you're either going to get results or you're not. And if you're not getting results, then you got to change the work you're putting in. And I can tell you, like, I don't do good when I do things the way other people do things. In fact, every single thing that's ever taken off that's been very successful for me has been when people said, you probably shouldn't do it that way. And I was like, yeah, right, I'm going to do it that way because this is the way it makes me feel excited. This is the way that lights my fire. And that's the way you've got to do it. And just remember this, any time an obstacle comes in the way, I heard this like on a TikTok the other day, and it was like somebody questioning, and it doesn't matter what any of your religions are, right? But it's like, why do bad things happen to people? Well, I don't know. But I can tell you this, challenges come your way to make you stronger. Challenges come your way and they make you stronger somehow, some way, because you got to figure your way through it, right? I'm not saying they're not going to hurt. I'm not saying they're not going to be painful. I'm not saying that they are not going to set you back, but you are going to learn something through them that is going to teach you something important for your future. Okay. And I can tell you that there are so many lessons that I've learned throughout the past 10 years in this industry that people have left, people have come. I have, hit skyrocketed months. I have hit really low months. I've had really high checks. I've had really low checks. I've spent money I shouldn't have spent. I saved money that I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I literally, I put things in the wrong baskets. That's okay. I learned. And I've also learned that, again, you don't have to do it the way that somebody else does it. I am not a photographer. Okay. I'm not. My pictures probably never will look like they're photographed from like a professional. Like, just, they probably won't, because I'm sloppy and I'm messy and I'm just a disaster. I am literally at home every day. I don't travel many places. I don't even go to the grocery store very often. I hate shopping. So yeah, like it's like getting my kids from school or the gas station or maybe the dollar store or maybe a brief stop at the grocery store. You might catch me for a hot minute, but for the most part, I'm home or running kids to and from work, school, track, wherever it is they need to go. Professional chauffeur is what you should call me. So I was like, I stopped doing videos in my car. Well, guess what? That sucks because that's where I am the majority of my day. By the time I get ready and go to do something, I've got to go. And people like got on me for driving with my video. But you know what? I don't care. I'm going to do it. I'm going to just hit the go button before I go. Except for I don't have service away from my daughter, like when I go get my daughter, but I do have service in certain areas. So I can utilize those things. And I don't even have to touch my phone. It can be up on the man. I don't even have to look at it. But I let that stop me. I let it actually paralyze me. Like, oh no. And then I also allowed my divorce to paralyze me, to be honest. I allowed it to paralyze me to where I didn't want to go live. I didn't want to post because every time I posted, I had somebody, oh, life must be so great. What? You leave a 20-year relationship and see how effing great your life is. Okay. No, it's not. It's hard. And you have kids that are even going to be more screwed up if I'm not worried about them too. Okay. So, yeah, I'm a little bit preoccupied. And the problem is that you can't worry about what people have to say about your business. You guys, your business is what literally, if you are running it in a way that you know that this can provide for you and help your family in some way, that's all you want to stay focused on. Okay. That's all you want to stay focused on is why you're doing it. Because I can tell you, it gets short lived. It gets short lived. And I used to want to be like in the magazines and on stage and speaking and so forth. I don't want any of that anymore. I want my team there. I got that glory. I want them to have it now. I want everybody else to have it. I mean, I'll still go up there and I'll like cheer them on and pat them on the back and stuff, but like I want to hear them speaking. I want to see them get their awards and recognition, because that's why I keep doing it. To be honest with you, I would have walked away a long time ago. I would have walked away a long time ago if it wasn't for the people. If it wasn't for the people that and what I've seen this industry be able to do, right? So like the people I've yet to meet, the people that are currently here, and I can't control when somebody loses that drive or that passion or so forth. And there's nothing wrong, guys, with that. Okay. There is nothing wrong with that. We change jobs all the time. Okay. People change jobs all the time. People move cities, states, countries. I mean, hello. Right. But what we can realize is that you can't start and stop all the time either. You have to get a plan and get consistent with it and then know that eventually that plan is going to pay off. So I want to challenge each of you guys to get into your cloud office and to actually like look at all your free customer accounts. If you haven't reached out to them, I know we just had some promos, reach out to them. Say, hey, I know you had a free account before. Just curious if you'd ever rethought about this. Wanted to make sure you knew that we have a huge variety of products now. Everything from, and name a product that is a low point and a high point. Okay. So that would be a low point, would be example chill. A high point would be Thrive Elite. You see the difference there? And make sure that people understand that you have a wide range and that their account is free. They can access it at any time. If they would decide to run with their business, they have from now until the end of April. And offer the business to every single one of those free accounts because they may not know. How would they? How would they know? And I don't want to choose for somebody. I'm going to let them know. I know you were interested in the product before. So I just wanted to let you know we have a wide variety of products right now, but we also have these life-changing, crazy bonuses that I know sound too good to be true. But just at the slim chance that you might be interested, just know it's free to join. You can get your product for free with 2 customer referrals. If you're willing to post your post about the product, post about the opportunity, you might want to give this a shot. It could really be crazy. People earn the VIP 400. People earn the VIP Okay. And right now, what if you could help somebody pay their rent on the first? How many people do you think are out there? And I know because my stepson literally had his rent due today. And the only reason he was able, or it was actually due a couple of days ago, but the landlord just came and got it today. But the only reason he was able to make it because his girlfriend had quit her job and he had been sick. The only reason he was able to make his rent was because his taxes hit. I mean, he was closed. He was closed, but he wasn't going to have any money for the next 2 weeks. And he was able to make it just because his taxes hit. A lot of people taxes are hitting. A lot of people, as quickly as those taxes hit, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone because they're paying off bills or they're buying things that they haven't been able to buy and they need, right? I know a lot of people went and got washers, dryers, like got maybe their furnace fixed or hot water tank. I mean, like legit. That's the reality. Like that's life when you are living especially lower and middle class. Like that was the life I lived. Every year when I got my income tax check, I paid up as many bills as I possibly could. And I stretched the remainder amount as long as I could because I knew that we were going to be living paycheck to paycheck and cashing in change jars, looking for money in our couches and cars and pockets all the time otherwise, right? Because that's just the reality. And like the cost of living is up. The cost of living is up. So instead of like trying to stress yourself out, sorry, I'm moving around a lot, but I tend to do that sometimes. Instead of stressing yourself out about how far you have to go, worry about the stepping stones of what it's going to take to get there and how and what that's going to do for you and your family once you do. And I promise you guys, reach out to also if you have old teammates, just reach out to them and be like, hey, don't know if you'd be interested in getting restarted, but you're eligible for this bonus. So you want to do it or not? What's it going to hurt? They might not have the like confidence, you guys, to come back unless they feel welcomed. Please tell me that hit somebody when I said that. Like some people, when they leave things, they leave them and they run. I am an avoidant person. Like I have an avoidant attachment style personality. And so if you hurt my feelings, you break my heart, or you screw me over, I avoid you. I don't want the confrontation. I don't want to talk to you because I'm hurt. And I just don't. I'm like, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And I silence up. A lot of people don't feel welcome. Like, would you go to a party that you didn't know anybody at? Well, that's what it feels like coming back into the business. Feels like you're jumping into a chat with all these people you don't know because maybe you've been gone for a long time. So be that warm embrace that reaches out and says, hey, I really miss you. I would love to have you on my team again. I would love to work with you again. You know, I know that. And if you remember why they got started in the first place or what they used to do or what they used to love about it, share that with them. Because guys, people need to be reminded what they do matters. Oh no, why that made me so much. I'm so sorry if there's guys on here, but seriously, like I started my period today and swear to God, the older I get, the worse my freaking hormones are like, ugh. I swear I'm like perimenopausal or something. It's like awful, but it's hello, I'm Amanda and this is real life. And that's how I roll. All right. Because truly, I want to see everybody win. And I know right now is such a epitome of a time. Hold on. I'm going to pull my cloud office up real quick because I want to give you an example of something that you can be doing. And I know you guys don't have all the same reports I have, but you should have most of them. So when you are looking at your sponsors report, you literally, even if you can't, I mean, every one of us can see the sponsors report. You can click on anybody even if it's not somebody that you enrolled, because a lot of you guys are afraid to reach out to people that maybe you didn't sign up or whatever. If the person above them doesn't want to work the business or doesn't want to do this, why not reach out to them? I have so many people that I never signed up, but I definitely have cheered for them and I definitely want to work with them. So they have their phone number and their email there right in that sponsors report. And you can change it. Like you can change all of this stuff up here so that you just get their phone number and you just get their email and their name. And if you want to know like where they're at in your organization, it will tell you what level they're on and so forth. And then you can do the same thing. You can go under my team and go under your customers. And then you can go over and, oh yeah, you want to definitely check and see who's got auto ship set up. Like I can see that like which customers set their auto ships this month, which ones have ran, which ones I have an auto ship coming up on the 25th. So I want to make sure I reach out to these people, and you want to reach out to those people before that auto ship runs so that you can make sure that their stuff like is all up to date. And then also, yeah. So then when they refer someone or they've been referred by somebody, pay attention to that. All right. Make a list of your actual referred customers, because if one of your customers has a bunch of referrals, you guys, you want to let them know, hey, you could be a promoter. Hello. You want to let them know that there's not that big of a difference. A lot of people don't want to hit the promote button because they think they have to pay a website fee every month. They think they have to pay a renewal fee. They feel like they have to do all this stuff, but they do not. Like if they don't have anybody order, okay, they're not going to get commission anyways. But if they have people ordering, why not make money off of that? Right? Like, so let them know, like, hey, but reach out to anybody that has their auto ships running. And then if you have people that haven't ordered for a couple of years, if you've been around for a while, make sure you're reaching out and letting them know about Elite and about the incredible results that people are having, because hello, have you guys seen some of these results? I'm like mind blown. I am mind blown right now. And I wish that Elite would have been around like 3 years ago when I was like really getting like, I was at my year and I was stuck. I couldn't get past like a certain weight. And then I and I knocked my goal out, and then I gained some weight back after I got married, and I only gained like 15 pounds back, but it felt like a lot. It felt like a lot whenever I had lost so much, and like literally I'm on my way back, but it's going up very, very slowly because I adapted to some really bad habits of eating before bed and things like that. So anyways, okay, over the last 11 days. So tomorrow's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. So 11 full days tomorrow morning. Okay. So 12 technically if you count today. Go through, see who on your team may want to work their business, see who in your customers may want to, maybe some of them want to switch. Don't switch anybody if they don't want to switch, right? But see if anybody wants to post so that they can get their products for free. It will never hurt to ask. And if you are just mindlessly posting on Facebook or not reaching out to anybody, that doesn't grow your business, right? So reaching out to these people will be effective IPAs to help you, or they might even just be willing to share a post. They might even be willing to just share their testimony on Thrive and tag you in it, and that can bring referrals. So they might not want to like tell anybody, but they might be willing to allow you to use their testimony per se, or they could just even share it with you and you could go and share it. And you could tag them, right? Also over the next 10 days, so see customers that aren't thriving for free, that want to thrive for free, promoters that aren't thriving for free, that want to thrive for free, customers that may want to come back, promoters that may want to come back, see who on your team. And I'm talking every rank. So there is and I know, like I said, it's not available, but actually there is a link that you can follow. I'm going to go on to the I know it's posted somewhere, and I think we might have posted in the Dream Team. Jason Stewart had shared it not long ago. The reps to rank, like the next rank, if it doesn't matter what rank you are, if you follow that link, it will literally show you who on your team is next to rank, right? So I'm gonna have to get it off of the, I know Mario's posted it too. So I'll find it and I'll post it in the Dream Team, like under this Zoom title or something, because I think it's only available for 80 and 200Ks to see. But if you are somebody that is a 40K or a 12K, or you are even a 4K and you are off balance, well, guess what? Maybe if you have somebody that is actually like more than half your volume, and they're close to going 4K, because I think anybody right now, even if they started at 0, could hit 4K by the end of the month, because it literally takes 5 VIPs, 5 people going VIP. And if you got really focused on every day trying to help one person get started, that one person could turn into 2 people, turn into 3 people, turn into 4 people, and the powers can just keep on rolling, right? So if you go and you try to help somebody very diligently tomorrow, because you have a bonus riding on the line for you to hit before the end of the month, they have bonuses to hit. Focus on them getting those VIP 400. Focus on them getting the VIP 800. Focus on them getting the VIP 1600. What will that pay for them? Right? That will pay a lot. And then say you have 2 people go VIP 1600. You're literally almost at 4K. You're at 3,200. And that's not counting any of your customers or any of your other promoters or anything, your own personal orders that you maybe have placed. So it's possible. And I hope that, like, literally me saying that kind of drills it in. Hold on. Let me see. So on promoter post testimony tag. Yeah, so you can do a post and share a promoter testimony and tag your customer. Absolutely, you can, as long as they're fine with that. Sure, 1,000,000% you could tag them. But I don't like to tag somebody unless they're like okay with me tagging them. Like, I don't want them to tell me something in private and then me screenshot it and then post all over Facebook and them not want it. Like, sometimes they say embarrassing stuff, so make sure you get their permission and let them know, hey, I'm going to give them your customer referral link if people ask. So yeah, that's all right. If she doesn't want to post, Elaine, you can post it. Ask her if she's willing to type up her testimony or share how she's feeling, and you make the post and tag her, right? This is a great time too that you can put out, if you have credits or whatever, you could offer credits to people that, like, customers of yours that actually do it. You could send out like little customer thank yous and so forth. You could also offer free or low cost sample packs to people that maybe want to get restarted, or have referrals, right? That are getting you customer referrals, but not quite ready to place an order, but they're bringing you in referrals. If you have extra product laying around, you could pull that out and you could offer that to them. Like, if somebody wanted to try something, you guys, think outside the box, but get focused on results. What do people want? What do the people that say yes to this opportunity want? What do the people that say yes to these products, whether it is Thrive Elite, and please do not just focus on energy. Know that sometimes people need the weight gain. I've heard so many testimonies of people with weight gain. Like just last week when Katie did this Zoom. I mean, Ashley's testimony was literally exactly that. And ironically, I have an Ashley that had that exact same issue. And she could not gain weight, could not gain weight. And then she started taking these products, and it's amazing what our bodies do when we give it what it needs. Krista Purdy just posted too about how she finally was able to gain some weight after having her heart surgery last year and was just really weakened down, right? And how her body is at a comfortable place right now because she's getting and fueling it with what it needs. So, anyways, that's like the biggest thing. And honestly, I'm going to wrap up the Zoom because there's only 10 minutes left. And that's all I wanted to talk about tonight, because everything else is action. Everything else that has to happen is all action steps. So know that it starts with your customers. It starts with your promoters. And when you guys, if you want, one of the other things too, if you're not sure how to reach new people, okay, start, if you're utilizing Facebook, obviously it's going to be look through friends and coworkers that you are already friends with, okay? And if there are people that you are familiar with, that you went to school with, you worked with, that you've hung out with, then just hit the ad. Just hit the ad. If there are people you'd want to be friends with, right? But also don't be afraid to join groups of stuff that you have going on in your life. Whenever my daughter was struggling with her ADHD, I joined groups. When I was going through my divorce, I joined groups. When I was going through my sleeve surgery, I joined groups, right? And I signed so many people from all of those groups. Why? Because I had stuff relevant in my life that I was posting about on those pages that had nothing to do with this, but they became my friends. And then they would see me post on here, like on my personal page. And the same thing, like Instagram, look at people that are also in this industry, see what kind of people like that you want to be friends with, and then follow people like-minded, like stuff that other girl, like I'm just going to use an example. If your mom, like that, your daughter's in track or your daughter's in sports, then look up other moms that are in this stuff. Know that they might, you might relate to them. They might inspire you. You might grow from that person because you met them. And TikTok is very much the same. Find people in your community. And by your community, I mean that are you, your people, right? Because that's who you really want to work with, or people that are like-minded and that you are going to actually get along with and have similar personality and interests. That's where you're going to find it. So just like start searching out for those people, and then make sure you're giving them something to know you by. And make sure that, while you've got to share the product, don't make it all about the product. Just share your story, share testimonies of people getting the results that people are looking for. Keep that center focused. All right. So everybody have an amazing night. I love you all. I will get that reps to rank post in the comments in the Dream Team page. So have a good night, guys. I'll get this recording up ASAP.